ancient Sumerian Mesopotamian gods and goddesses. INANA ISHTAR. INANA Sumerian ISHTAR Akkadian is among the most important deities and the most important goddess in the Mesopotamian pantheon. She is primarily known as the goddess of sexual love, but is equally prominent as the goddess of warfare, meaning that she is dual. She is inconsistent and a paradox. In her astral aspect, INANA ISHTAR is the planet Venus, the morning and the evening star. So here we see some of her. She is often seen with lions. I don't know whether it's true or not. However, here are Romans goals that she traded the Indian, and in exchange she slept with her own grandfather and in exchange, Indian once given father may as well be in Kaya. Here is Aphrodite, is her Greek version. See that there's a snake here. The Greek version is too beautiful to be true. And here is the woman. I have seen this woman in 2014 in a place where I was raised. I dreamt of her and there in this street, and it was very dark. It was around 8 p.m. already, very dark, and there was a commotion of the girls running away from a dilapidated, abandoned house with a very long yard in front, a porch, a very long walkway to the house, and there was some large sewage tube pipe in the where it's supposed to be a garden. And the people running away from their house, and I decided to check to see what's going on. And then I saw this woman, but she was different. She had a very beautiful dress. Her hair is almost the same, and she have a dress like she wore red, I guess. And as I approached her, I told her that I knew who she was and that she wanted a human. I told her, "Hey, no need to disperse. You don't need to hide yourself. I know who you are." And then at this moment, she turns into a snake, very large python, very large South America python called sucuri or jiboya, a very large one. And then she slid her way inside this large tube. As she slid her way inside the tube, I was more stupid and nosy to go and look at the tube, the pipe. I went near the pipe, and at this moment she made a motion like the snakes does to attack. She coiled up, and then she launched forward. She gave an attack forward, and then before she could catch me, I already was gone with the wind. And she is this Odirag here. She's not as she passed up to be. She's more like to be the Odi lady here than the other beautiful one. Okay, I think this is the true holy Inanna Ishtar. The others was when she was young. INANA ISHTAR is by far the most complex of all Mesopotamian deities, displaying contradictory, even paradoxical traits. In Sumerian poetry, she is sometimes portrayed as a coy young girl under patriarchal authority, though at other times as an ambitious goddess seeking to expand her influence. In the partly fragmentary myth Inanna and Enki. And in the myth Inanna descends to the netherworld. Her marriage to Dumuzi is arranged without her knowledge, either by her parents or by her brother Utu. Even when given independent agency, she is mindful of boundaries. Rather than lie to her mother and sleeping with Dumuzi, she convinces him to propose to her in the proper fashion. These actions are in a stark contrast with the portrayal of INANA ISHTAR, the famed tale and the epic of Gilgamesh. Taken by the heavy-sum Gilgamesh, INANA ISHTAR invites him to be her lover. She might be those succumbers then. Her advices, however, are rejected by the hero, who accusingly recounts a string of past lovers she has cast aside and destroyed. Sometimes too she is compared, mistaken for Lilith, and she represents the zodiacal sign of Libra and Taurus. There is agreeably a persistent commonality between these two natures of INANA ISHTAR. Her sexuality. The young INANA of Sumerian Odirag, think of it, sex for what? The young INANA of Sumerian poetry who says, "Plough my vulva, man of my heart." Disgust. I think this is all people invention. These are disgusting, lecherous, pervert men ideas. It's no less desirous than the INANA ISHTAR portrayed in Gilgamesh. Let us enjoy your strength, so put your hand and touch our vulva. Accordingly, INANA ISHTAR was the recipient of prayers regarding impotency or unrequited love. INANA ISHTAR was also the patron goddess of prostitutes. Oh, so she is the Pombagira. She's a Pombagira as well. INANA ISHTAR is equally fond of making war as she is of making love. So how about the saying, making love, not war? Where does it stand? Battle is a feast to her. The warlike aspect of the goddess tends to be expressed in politically charged contexts, in which the goddess was a deity, is praised in connection to royal power and military might. This is already visible in the old Akkadian period, when Naram frequently invokes the warlike Ishtar in his inscriptions, and becomes more prominent in the new Assyrian veneration of INANA ISHTAR, whose two most important aspects in this period, namely Ishtar of Nineveh and Ishtar of Arbela, were intimately linked to the person of the king. the warrior aspect of INANA ISHTAR, which does not appear before the Old Akkadian period, emphasizes her masculine characteristics, whereas her sexuality is feminine. The role of the goddess, but not all human has to be like this. The role of the goddess in legitimizing political power was not, however, restricted to her masculine aspect as the warlike Ishtar, but is attested use for the sexual Inanna in her female aspect, attribute to early Sumerian history. The so-called sacred marriage ceremony celebrated the marriage of Inanna, represented by her high priestess, and the Muzi, represented by the ruler, during the New Year's festival to ensure prosperity and abundance. Practiced in the late 3rd and early 2nd millennium BCE, the sacred marriage rite, which may have been only an intellectual construct rather than event in real life, nevertheless served to express the relationship between the king and the divine word, divine between parentheses, yeah, right. Accordingly, that many 3rd millennium rulers described themselves as her spouse points to Inanna's significant agency and wielding political power. Some mythological narratives dwell on the astral aspect of Inanna Ishtar, albeit indirectly. In the myth Inanna and Sukaltuda, the clumsy gardener boy Sukaltuda has intercourse with the goddess. Rishi is asleep on the tree, enraged at what has happened. Inanna Ishtar goes in search for the hiding boy. The course she takes in searching her violator has been suggested to mimic that of the astral course of the Venus star. Likewise, her movements in the midst of Inanna and key in which the goddess travels first to Enkaya seat, Iridu from Uruk, and travels back again, recalls the cycle of Venus. Presumably the same journey was carried out terrestrially in festivals. A liminal, that is, between role may also be ascribed to Inanna. A liminal, that is, in between role may also be ascribed to Inanna Ishtar by virtue of have traveled to and back from the underworld. In her mythological descent to the netherworld, she sits on her sister Ereshkigal throne, rouses the anger of the Anak, and is turned to a corpse. Only through the agency of her minister Nisubur, who secures the help of Ea, is Inanna Ishtar able to come alive again and return to the world above. Notably, in another myth among the myths, she takes from Ea and Kaya are those associated with going down into the netherworld and coming up from the netherworld. It has been argued that Mesopotamian grave goods reflect the iconography of Inanna Ishtar more than that of any other deity because of this inherent association with transition between the world of the living and the dead. The family tree of Inanna Ishtar differs according to different traditions. She is variously the daughter of Anu, no, or the daughter of Nana Sin and his wife Ningal, and sister of Utu Samas, or else the daughter of Ea. It could be Ea, why he went after her to save her. Her sister is Ereshkigal. Inanna Ishtar does not have permanent spouse per se, but has an ambivalent relationship to her lover, the Muzi, Tammuz, whom she eventually condemns to death. She is also paired with the war god Zababa. In the Assyrian Empire, Ishtar of Nineveh and Ishtar of Arbela were treated as two distinct goddesses, and royal inscription and treatise of Ashurbanipal. Also during this period, Ishtar was made the spouse of Ashur and known by the alternative name of Mulitu. INANA is listed third place after in Leo, and well dynastic Pharaoh god list. INANA ISHTAR remains the upper crust of the Mesopotamian pantheon through the 3rd, 2nd, and the 4th millennia. He is especially significant as a national Assyrian deity, particularly in the 1st millennium. In early Canaan, represented a reedy battle Getty post, which was the written form of her name in very old text. The uppermost register of the famous Uruk vase shows the goddess in anthropomorphic form standing before two suns Getty posts. In human form as the goddess of sexual love, INANA ISHTAR is often depicted fully nude. Syrian iconography is often reveals herself by holding open a cap. The nude female is an extremely common theme in ancient Near Eastern art. However, and although variously ascribed to the sphere of INANA ISHTAR as acolytes or cult statuettes, they probably do not all represent the goddess herself. A sound indication of divine status is the presence of the horned cap. In her warrior aspect, INANA ISHTAR is shown dressed in a flounced robe with weapons coming out of her shoulder, often with at least one other weapon in her hand, and sometimes with a beard to emphasize her masculine side. Her attribute animals on the goddess of war is the lion, on the back of which she often has one foot or fully stands. In praise of her warlike qualities, she is compared to a roaring, fearsome lion. In her astral aspect, INANA ISHTAR is symbolized by the 8-pointed star. The colors red and carnelian. See? Colors red and carnelian. That's why the woman I saw is in red. And the cooler blue and lapis lazuli were also used to symbolize the goddess, perhaps to highlight her female and male aspects, respectively. This goddess most of the etymological interpretations Ni and Lady of the Heavens. A different interpretation translated her name as Lady of Deity Clusters. The Semitic name ISHTAR originally belonged to an independent goddess that was later merged and identified with the Sumerian INANA. The meaning of her name is also unclear.